So only have time for a very, very quick video today because I'm taking my children, my sons, to their Classical Conversations Community Day today. So in any case, I just wanted to say this. If you listen to the Kanye West podcast, first of all, if you haven't, you definitely need to listen to it. But if you have, then you've heard a lot of sort of the ins and outs of how he says his handlers try to control the narratives, like what he says and things like that. And what struck me about all of that is, there's two things. Number one, when my YouTube channel first got popular, like right when the MLK 50 conference happened, like there was a quick shot of popularity of my YouTube channel, which of course has then since cooled. But right at the beginning, there was a person that approached me, and I always, and maybe I'll tell this story in total at some point, but I always felt like I was being handled by this person. And it was never like anything, nothing was ever offered to me directly, but it was always kind of presented as, it always felt to me that, number one, they wanted to control the things I would talk about and wouldn't talk about, number one. And number two, it always felt to me like there was something being offered indirectly, but they wanted me to ask for it. They wanted me to ask for help or ask for something. And it always kind of seemed like if I did ask for it, it would be there. Whether it was money, whether it was support, whatever it was, it would be there. But it was always presented in such a way that it was not really offered. It was like I had to ask for it. So that's number one that struck me. I feel like there was a handler that had approached me at one point. Number two, if you notice what Kanye talks about, like these are all the tactics that they use on us every day. You know, Kanye talks about how they want to control what he fears, right? They want to control what he should be afraid of. That's the same thing they do to us with the media. They do it on social media, they do it on TV, they do it on cable news, whatever it is, radio. And this is equal opportunities, right? This is both on the conservative and the liberal side. You know, Kanye talks about how they turned his family against him. Again, they're trying to divide our families. I mean, think about how many stories of Thanksgivings that you heard that were divided during COVID, where one side wasn't vaccinated, the other side, one side wasn't wearing masks, and like they refused to join together for Thanksgiving, or they had two Thanksgivings, or all these kinds of crazy stories. I mean, I've heard, maybe because of the position I'm in, I've heard many of them. Maybe you haven't heard any stories like that, but trust me, there were lots of stories like that. Oh man, you know, my baby was born. You want to come to our party? No, you're not vaccinated. Like, you know, like just dividing up families, right? Turning them against each other. Third thing he mentions is he, of course they call him crazy, right? They call him crazy. They question his mental state. I mean, I've heard people question the mental state of Christians in the media again and again and again, especially the non-compliant Christians, the non-vaccine Christians, the non-Black Lives Matter Christians. This is something that they do. They question your mental state. They try to gaslight you in that way. There's so many things, like they obviously there's other things that they do, but the point being though that all the tactics that they use on Kanye, they use it on Kanye at a high level because he's got a big platform, and they use it on everybody, and it at a lesser extent depending on how big your platform is. And if you're just a regular citizen like myself, they use it on you through the normal propaganda means. Well, Kanye is basically describing the propaganda that they use on all of us, except for him, it's more focused. He's got specific people that do it. It's more focused. Attention is more focused on him because he's, a bigger name and all of that kind of stuff. By the way, we're all starting to see through this. And we're at the point now where so many of us, we're just not afraid anymore, right? We're just not. And you can call us any name in the book. You can call us racist. We don't care. You can call us bigot. We don't care. You can call us misogynist. We don't care. You can call us anti-Semite. I see that's the last one, I think, for a lot of people. Once they've been called anti-Semite a few times and nothing happens, or even if something happens, you're free. Who cares? You're absolutely free. And if you want to call, me an anti-Semite because I believe that you should stop being a Jew and repent and bow the knee to Jesus Christ because he's your king, he's your Lord, go right ahead. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. And hey, bud, hold on one second. If you want to call me an anti-Semite for any kind of criticism of a Jewish person or a group of Jewish people, yeah, okay. Oh well. I mean, if it's anti-Semitic to criticize Jewish people, I mean, basically, I don't know, 3/4 of the Bible has to be is anti-Semitic. By the way, this is what people actually believe. These psychopaths like the ADL and stuff, they believe the Bible is anti-Semitic. I mean, you go into Ezekiel and you see, page after page of God's talking about the Jews and how they're stiff-necked and how they're doing all this stuff. And it's not just criticizing the Jews in a group of other nations. Like he says that they're actually worse than other nations. And he says this all the time. And it's like, yeah, that's obviously not anti-Semitic. Obviously, God doesn't hate Jews. But he was just recognizing something about some of these Jews, some of them. And that's fine, so... Yeah, I think people are getting free. But the thing is, the last point I want to make before I have to go is you got to at some point get beyond the complaining stage, right? Like if all you're doing is complaining that the media and they're pushing degeneracy on us constantly, which they are doing. They're pushing degeneracy on every media platform that they have as much as possible. If you're going to complain about that, okay, that's fine. You got to shine a light on some of that stuff from time to time. But you got to move beyond that too. And that's why Gab is so important. That's why the parallel economy is so important. That's why, making local connections with Christians and Christian nationalism, a distinctly Christian system is important. Because, despite what the idiots out there say, Christian nationalism is not about persecuting unbelievers. That's ridiculous. Barber, that's stupid. You're stupid if you believe that. Christian nationalism about establishing Christian systems in the government, in the church, in the communities, and all of this kind of stuff, according to Christian principles and biblical law. That's what it's about, and that's important because the old system, there's eventually going to be no place for a faithful Christian in the old system. There's just going to be pure degeneracy constantly all the time, and you're going to have to sell your soul to participate in that system. Right now, you can still kind of get away with it, but at some point, you're going to have to sell your soul to participate in that system. That's why we need new systems. We need new systems. So anyway, that's my video for today. I hope you found it helpful. God bless.